right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. Thanks for starting your year off with us and with Jake. Let's see. All right, yep, we're live. Jake, you can go ahead and take it away. Thanks so much for being here.
All right, there we go. Happy New Year, everybody. So glad to be on here. Just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, one of the things that we covered in our last webinar before Christmas. I want to make sure we address that. And then, of course, as we're getting into the new year, want to open up the floor, of course, to any questions or things like that. I know that with the new year, there's new challenges. We had the DAC 50 and 50, and so anything I can do to help or support in that, in that capacity, please let me know. And obviously, these are great times to come in and answer questions. Next week, we will have some more kind of formal training on just overall, outreach and overcoming objections. We'll go through the website and all of that, but I wanted to leave today to do a little bit of housekeeping on clarifying a couple of things for you guys, and then being able to answer any questions alongside of that. So a couple of weeks ago, one of the things we had talked about was the power of a referral agent and why they're so important. And what's so beneficial about a referral agent is that they don't have to know what a deductible is. They don't need to know what a PPO network is. They don't need to know how ClearShare works to purposes, right? What a health share is, or how the pre-existing condition limitations impact them, or is this medication on there? And I think we went into talking a little bit about how, we don't have people who sell our ClearShare products as brokers, and we have a couple of them. There's some quality control with that, and there was a reason for that. Well, and what that may have done is it kind of created some confusion, because there are some licensed individuals who are with DAC, of course, and it made it seem to them like they weren't able to refer ClearShare or refer people to Clearwater, and that is by no means the case whatsoever. So I apologize for anything along those lines. But to set the record straight, if you are licensed, and you do life products or other health insurance products, you also do things within David Allen Capital, you are still 100% able to refer business to Clearwater. What I was talking about more so was when it comes to appointing general agents or brokers to sell Clearwater or ClearShare, more specifically, soup to nuts, from the very beginning of the sales process to the presentation, to the quoting, to the enrollment, etc. That was more so what I meant. So I don't want anybody on these meetings to think that if you're licensed, you're not going to be able to refer ClearShare or people to Clearwater for anything. That's not the case, and you'll get paid, on all those referrals just the same as any other referral agent. So I hope that helps, and I want to make sure that that's clear for those who were on a couple of weeks ago. And with that, just wanted to kind of open the floor for any questions that people might have, just with regards to, this little clarification point. Oh, I got a hand from Ellen. Hey, Ellen, Happy New Year.
Hey, Jake, Happy New Year. So good to see you and everybody else get back to business here. Yeah, some clarification on that. So those referral partners that are wanting to market through Clearwater, they would just sign up as a DAC agent, right? And be a referral partner that way, whether they're licensed or not. They become a DAC agent, and then they're referring through our DAC healthcare site, correct?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Perfect.
Yep.
Just want to clarify that. Awesome. That's it.
Perfect. Because with a lot of agencies, when you have your own products, oftentimes the number one thing that we see is from a lot of other companies is that they go directly towards brokers. They target brokers. They want brokers to sell their products, all the way through. and then they just, support and administer, those members once they've enrolled. So the beauty of our referral partnerships is that there's more quality control internally. If there's an issue with what was sold or what was recommended, we're going to own that or take responsibility and make sure we provide adequate feedback and all of that sort of stuff just based on the situation. So, but when you're dealing or putting a ClearShare or HealthShare product in the hands of a broker, there's we've seen it to where it could be more pain than profit. So anyways, with that to be said, anybody who's licensed, to Ellen's point, they would sign up as a DAC agent. They can continue selling their other products through, and then of course refer business to us if that's what works best. So Fred, we got a question from you.
Yeah, hi. Good morning. I guess two questions. In reference to if someone is licensed as a health agent, they sign up as a DAC agent. Now, I'm assuming that they're going to get the same, commission as someone who is not licensed. Is that correct?
For the ClearShare products, yes, that's correct. We have some major medical products as well. I am looking into where the payment, like if that is any different for someone who is licensed in that state versus not licensed, and what the pay difference would be. But for ClearShare, yes, those, and that's the predominant product anyways that you guys are referring to anyways. So yes,
Okay.
for ClearShare, whether you're licensed or not, it's the same amount.
Okay. My second question, somebody approached me from a company called Impact Health Share. Have you ever heard of them? I'm just curious if you know anything about them.
Yeah, we've heard of Impact.
Okay.
So Impact Health Share is another kind of nonprofit that's come out. Their website videos all look really good, very clean. Everything looks really nice. What we've heard with clients that have come from Impact to ClearShare is that the main reason they didn't like Impact is because it was way too confusing and way too complicated. Too many different things. There were variations, caps to coverages on certain things. And then of course, just when it came to using the plan, it didn't work as much like a normal insurance policy as ClearShare would. And so they liked the simplicity of how our ClearShare plans were working because Impact was just too complicated. Is it less money? Most definitely, but it definitely has its gaps in terms of what it does cover and what you have to do to actually receive any sort of sharing from them.
Yeah, I mean, of what I saw, because somebody sent me their guidelines, it talks about, okay, if you go to the hospital, you've got to pay $150 to go to the hospital, and then your maximum is $5,000. If you go to the doctor, I think it's like 25. I think if you go to a specialist, it's 50, as compared with ClearShare. Depends upon which plan you take, how much it's going to cost, and everything looked like it was $5,000 is, what you have to meet before you're covered 100%.
On ClearShare or on Impact?
On Impact.
Yep. Yeah, and then I don't know. I haven't read the entirety of their member guidelines. I seem to remember that there are coverage caps, for a year. So, if someone had to be in the ICU and incur $2 million in medical bills, they may not get full 100% sharing through Impact, even after they reach that 5,000. But I would need to double check that and confirm.
That's fine. I just wanted to throw it out there just so people have an idea, what's out there in case anybody brings that up. But, obviously I'm going to say, you know what, let's set up an appointment and I'll let the experts answer that, because I'm not really the expert here. I'm not licensed as far as that's concerned. So
and you can say too, I mean, that's a great point, Fred, because I mean, you can say too, like, hey, our consultants deal with people all the time who are coming from different health shares. So they have a lot of knowledge and experience on each of the little kind of nuances. They've heard all the negative feedback that they've received, and then ultimately have found that ClearShare was a better alternative for those clients.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else have a question? I think I saw two hands up. Fred's hand was up, but then I may have been Ellen's, but if you did have a question, raise your hand back up because I don't see it on the screen.
Jake, this is Mark. I just have a quick question. We had a client recently ask us if Clearwater, if they do provide dental that covers braces, and I couldn't figure out if they did or didn't. And that's just a simple question they had.
Yeah, of course they do. And of course, when they schedule, they can get all the information about dental and vision as ancillaries or supplemental products. The dental plan, just to be specific, has a $1,000 lifetime limit per member for orthodontics. So it's not a ton in comparison to the annual limit you get with the dental services, but it's more than most any other dental plan offers, that's on either the exchange or even we used to sell Emeritus a while back, and they didn't have, I don't think they had any orthodontics coverage, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so there's something. But yeah, it's about $1,000 lifetime limit per member.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Oh, yeah, we got one. Carmen. Carmen Yolanda?
Okay, yes, I was trying to unmute. I'm a DAC agent and I wanted to know, I'm allergic to everything and they have to compound the only medicine I can take, so I can't get anything. So what's the difference between share though? How do is that like insurance? Because I called about
So it's an actual, so it's a health share, but we blend PPO networks, insurance type benefits on the day-to-day side of things. You even have on most of our plans, you have a prescription drug formulary that would give access to certain medications. So what I would recommend is, like, if you have a compounding pharmacy that you use, is when you meet with a consultant, just say, hey, listen, my medications are compounded, they're done at this pharmacy. Can you check with your, pharmacy benefits manager to see, if these medications or how these medications would be covered on the plans? Because our basic and advanced plans have really, really great, they have really, really great drug benefits with the PBM that we use. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day. God bless. Happy New
Yeah,
Year.
you're welcome. Happy New Year. Steve? I don't hear you,
Steve, you can
but I
unmute
see your
yourself.
hand.
Hey, can you hear me now?
There we go. Yep.
Oh, hey, thanks. Hey, Jake, a question for you. I know you helped me out with talking to a business owner probably about a month ago or so, and you had shot me an email, kind of a copy that what you'd sent to her, and about, I guess you sent her some information like a price quote, but I never got a copy of that. So should I just send an email to you? Because I wanted to follow up with the client. I never got what you sent.
Yeah. I thought I had sent that over. I apologize. Yeah, shoot me an email just so it's at the top of my inbox, and I'll make sure to get that over to you. And then, this week is a little bit slower on the appointment side for our group sales, just because it's right at the beginning of the year. But I have a whole list of people to follow up with, so I'll add them to it and make sure that you're copied on it.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Jake.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great stuff, guys. Well, hey, listen, I want to, if there are any other questions, we can definitely raise your hand, but I just wanted to go, and for those who are, hey, new year, new to DAC, how do I do this thing? What does this work? Right? Like, how do we make this work? How do I refer people to health share? How do I do this? How do I do that? Right? Well, it's as simple as going to a website, dachealthcare.com. And actually, you can just go straight to davidallencapital.com. I kind of cheated a little bit and got to the healthcare division. So let me go back. All right. So if I'm at davidallencapital.com, you've got all the different items here. And at the upper right-hand corner, it says healthcare division. Okay. When you click on that, now you've got individual plans and employer plans. Individual plans are going to be ideal for people who are, of course, 1099s, a real estate agent, a mortgage or a loan officer, right? Any sort of 1099. Oh, by the way, yourself, this is available for you. So as we always talk about from a coaching perspective, is that one of the best ways to refer this product is to actually experience it for yourself. But of course, you know, when you go here to individuals, this would also be for solopreneurs. Even if somebody wants to run a plan through their business, right? But they're only, you know, a sole proprietor. It's just one person within the business. Mark them as an individual and take them through the individual path. With employer plans, you know, those who want what's called a list bill, this is basically an invoice where the employer receives the entire contribution. That would need to be a minimum of 3 employees to be able to do that. And so, you know, so typically when you're referring small companies, you would want to stick with, you know, employer plans for companies, you know, 3 and above. And then for individuals, you know, 2 individuals or even 1, you would want to go the individual route. So they would have their own plans and get access to it. And if they wanted to run it through their business, they could certainly do that. But when you click on the individual plan section here, it's got a little video about ClearShare I recommend watching. And then you've got all these different features that, you know, honestly, if you're doing like digital marketing and stuff like that, and you just want them to click on this link and view it, it's a great sales page for clients that you're trying to refer to us. But at the same time, it's great for yourself because when you don't need to know, like we talked about, as an expert referral agent, we don't need to know all the ins and outs, all the nuts and bolts, how the sausage is made when it comes to our ClearShare products. So when you want, you know, a script, so to speak, you have it here on this page where you can kind of shed light on an expanded PPO network, saving money, a zero-cost option, free telemedicine, mental health care included. We're actually adding some additional virtual telemedicine services next week on all of our plans, which is going to be really exciting. So, but you've got all of this stuff here. Now, of course, what's the best thing to do? Well, the best thing to do would be for them, of course, to schedule a consultation. So when they come here, they can put in their information, or you can do it for them, and then you would hit continue. And then it would go through the process of having them schedule a call, or they could even receive a quote online. Now, that quote isn't written in stone. We've got about like 56 different plan combinations. So if that quote doesn't seem right, or they still want to see what it's all about or how the plan works, I highly recommend that the very next step that they take is to schedule a consultation. And you can walk them through this to get it scheduled, make sure that they know. And I'm still working to finalize a way in which you guys who are used to, you know, being with your clients for that, either that first presentation, being able to add yourself at the time of the booking. So that way you can be a part of that call as well. We have that, you know, on the group side as well that we're working on too. So that is coming. I should have an update on that this week or next. We have some of our IT department that's out this week, but this website is really great. You can see testimonials. Just say, hey, take a look at what people are saying here. And then of course, follow the process for them to schedule. Now on the employer plan side of things, this is typically going to be, this is really great because if you're like, well, I've got this company that's this or that's that. This website has pretty decent information on, you know, companies of various sizes that, you know, could work with us. Now there's always these, you know, would you guys work with PEOs, or what about associations or this and that? Those are always going to be sort of, you know, rare instances where if you have those types of connections, you can always just email me directly and we can try to work through the best process of getting that to work. But for company referrals, you've got a group. We're really, really competitive with those companies, 20 employees and under. And with the products that we have for companies that are above 20, we can still sell ClearShare, and it's a really competitive product. But those companies that are 50, 100, 200 lives, we actually have an underwritten product that we can provide them that is much more competitive than the standard Blue Cross Blue Shield, United, the Bucas of the world, so to speak. So, and that might be a better solution for them overall, simply from a compliance perspective and all of that sort of stuff. So ClearShare plans can definitely be sold to companies. We actually just did one that was 400 lives, 500 lives actually, on ClearShare. And it was kind of a blend of different products, but there are a lot more, solutions that we have for those larger companies, in addition to being extremely competitive for those companies 20 and below, 20 employees below. So here, there's really no quote that they can get, right? Because we're talking about so many different variables, but the first thing that will happen is they'll just go right into scheduling a discovery meeting. And when they schedule a discovery meeting, it's actually going to be with me and someone else on my team named Matt Sherman. And we're the ones who basically run all of our small group components. And so they'll meet with us, and then we can actually give them a quote on that very meeting. One of the things that's so tricky sometimes for people who are looking for health insurance, or companies that are looking for health insurance, is they often don't bother with it because they need it much sooner, and the underwriting process can take 2 to 3 weeks. So to be able to have, a live quote on the time of their very first meeting is extremely helpful for the transaction, for the sales process, all of that sort of stuff. They get all their information up front, which allows them to make a much quicker decision. So that discovery meeting is a Zoom meeting as well, just like it is for the individual ones. And like I said, I should find out this week or next if we'll be able to have a field where you can add your email address to that meeting so that you can attend the Zoom meeting as well with your referral client. So more to come on that. But again, with everybody who's been on these calls, I see so many different familiar names and faces. I want to make sure that you guys are well equipped to start referring now if you're new, and trying to get a feel for who Clearwater is, what it is that we do, how this works, and what's the step for starting the process and referring. So I hope this helps. And with that, we've got like 7 minutes. So if there are any other questions that are along, these lines, definitely let me know as well. Go ahead and take those now. Feel free to raise your hands and unmute yourself. There we go. Ellen.
Hey, Jake, as you're talking about the website and the different benefit and tools that we have there, I have actually a suggestion, and not necessarily a question, but on the D.A.C. Clear share page, that is the co-branded page, under our health share link there under plans, there's a side-by-side comparison tool there that shows advanced, basic, HSA, and clear share, right? You know which one I'm talking about, that chart?
Yes.
Okay. On there, it does not show whether there's a pharmacy benefit or not. I think that would be great if they could add that to the bottom of that chart and show which plans have the copay pharmacies and not. And also on the ClearShare, that's the catastrophic only plan, right? Where it's
Yep.
ClearShare by itself.
That's correct.
Okay, if maybe catastrophic could be noted under that at the top where it says plan comparison and list ClearShare, so that when agents are looking at that and going through the quote tool, it kind of matches up the verbiage and makes it a little bit easier to follow along with which plan they're requesting a quote for. So Just want to make that
Yeah.
suggestion.
No, good suggestion. So I can tell you on the ClearShare only part, one of the things that, and this really goes back into the compliance piece, right, of a health share. Sometimes if we put catastrophic next to ClearShare, it may think that it's because, oftentimes insurance policies, like catastrophic based insurance policies, are labeled as such. And so sometimes in the health share space, we want to be like uber careful with the type of words that we use for that. But, in light of that and in light of what we're learning, it's definitely worth, bringing up as a suggestion to see if that's something that we would be compliant in, offering or adding to the verbiage on the ClearShare only. When it comes to the PBM benefits, I would need to check and see what it would take to kind of add those in there, because yes, there are. I mean, you see on the side-by-side comparisons, it will show what the copays are for the advanced plan, for the basic plan, and then for HSA, it is a discounted amount. We use the same BPM, but it's a PBM, but it's a discounted kind of drug service. So in these instances, members would get it's almost like a good RX, on steroids, so to speak. So that's how the HSA portion works. But if you wanted to, Ellen, why don't you send me that or a screenshot of that, or a link to where you have it. I know exactly what you're talking about, just in terms of the grid side by side. But if there's a place for us to be able to add that, I can definitely do it. So maybe just shoot me an email with that suggestion, and then I'll take it to our team and see what we can add in there.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Jake.
You're welcome. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for your time today. I'm really looking forward to 2024. Sounds like a lot of really great things are happening with David Allen Capital, Clearwater as well. We're moving super fast. We've got new products, new things that are being added to our products that aren't going to change the cost in any way, shape, or form, but simply provide better benefits at a lower cost. So be on the lookout for some of those announcements when they go live, and I'll make sure to introduce those newer kind of benefits once they go live. Hopefully we'll be able to do that next week. So have a great rest of your week. Have a strong start to your new year, and I'll see you guys next